let's focus on something. If you are in the national capital, you are bound to see the toxic smog which has gagged the national capital. There's something in the air of Delhi that's converting the capital to a virtual gas chamber. After 5 days of permanent smog envelope, the National Green Tribunal has shot off a strongly worded letter to the civic bodies to check burning of waste in the open. As temperatures plummet in Delhi, a thick sheet of smog has shrouded the city. The toxicity of the smog rises every day as millions of Delhiites breathe in. The problem remains that Delhi has no formal mechanism of issuing pollution-related alerts to its citizens, despite being deemed as the world's most polluted city by some measures. We have this morning joining us here in the newsroom, Dr. Yogesh Valecha. He's a consultant and physician. Dr. Valecha, thanks very much for joining us. How does one look at this problem? How does one solve a problem like this?
First of all, I would like to thank all by bringing this pollution in the headlines, because this is a very grave problem. The smog, we are not knowing what smog is. Actually, it's a particulate matter which is entering our lungs. And not only lungs, it is causing a heart and lungs problems to our kids, to our elders, to our heart disease patients. And this is a grave problem that we have to address immediately. As you already we have been hearing that there's always a smog alert. There's a pollution level alert all over the world. Especially we keep on reading on media in China, which is our neighborhood country. But that helps us to know what is happening outside, so we can restrict our activities accordingly. So we get in the morning, we go for the jog, but we are not aware. We came here back with breathing a lot of pollutants, which may be long-term cause for our chronic lungs and heart disease. So first of all, it's up to the all of us to gather, and especially the media and all the government, to have an alert. Because if we get this smog, this particulate matter inside our lungs, it may be a grave for long and short-term diseases like asthma, COPD, heart disease, and name it. They are very other.
No, but Dr. Valecha, how does one solve a problem like this? By installing air purifiers, because that seems to be a commercially viable business for the air purifier manufacturers. But is it actually any good?
Actually, there are no specific studies for air purifiers preventing with these diseases. Yes, there may be a transient help for some people for installing inside, but we have to travel outside. So it may help for transient, but still there is always a controversy whether they will help or not. So it's only a small part. We can only help by prevention is seeing the alert. We can see we don't have alerts right now, but we can see outside our houses a lot of smoke, lot of smog. So we avoid our outdoor activities during those times. If we have option, like elderly people may delay their walk if they see there is a lot of smog.
Okay.
They may be having an air purifier for transient time if they see there's a lot of smog.
But these are steps that people can take at a personal level, but
yes.
I mean, in terms of policy, the government also needs to step in. We'll discuss that particular point in just a short moment and also seek your expert advice on what you would recommend as a doctor. Let's quickly go across to Anusha Soni, who joins us from the national capital to find out what the National Green Tribunal has actually said and how the NGT has stepped in. Morning, Anusha. Can you tell us what steps has the NGT proposed?
Sanket, to begin with, this is not the first time National Green Tribunal has issued these guidelines. The Delhi air pollution matter, which has been going on at the National Tribunal, has been a matter of concern for the 5-judge bench. It is much earlier, about 6 to 7 months ago, that the NGT had said that there should be no open burning of the waste. All the construction sites should be covered. There should be no dust particles that should be allowed, to just go in the open. Especially the trucks carrying the construction materials must always be covered. All of these guidelines have been in place for a very long time. However, in our country, the key problem is that you might have these guidelines issued by this tribunal. There has been no serious implementation of these guidelines. Now, when the smog has covered the entire national capital, the Delhi Pollution Control Board has come forward and now taking few steps. However, what it proves, what the experts are also telling us, that it's a little late in the day. And as of now, it's only the preventive steps, the small steps one can take. However, the NGT guidelines have been in place for about 6 to 7 months. It is just a reiteration that has come from the Green Tribunal.
Absolutely, Anusha. Thanks very much. Hope to get some more reports and also what the NGT and the Pollution Control Board have to say about this and what the government is actually going to do apart from awarding themselves bonanza of 400% increments. Let's quickly learn from the city which actually had this problem before Delhi, and that is Beijing. China. How did China deal with this problem? They have actually dealt with it in a much better way. At an individual level, you can see that people are wearing masks while Delhi is struggling. And the problem in Beijing resembles that of Delhi. There is a stark difference in the way the two cities have dealt with this particular menace. As you can see in these pictures, thousands of Chinese are taking to wearing a range of sophisticated anti-pollution masks to battle the smog, and it's so readily available in the shops, and something perhaps Delhi should also learn. Maybe a sort of a subsidy on devices like these. Let's go across to Hand Krishnan, who joins us from Beijing for more on this. Anant, is this China's way of dealing with this particular problem? And this must be at an individual level that people are dealing with this problem. I am assuming that at the state level, at the administration's level, there are some steps being taken to get pollution and smog in check.
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, there are two levels of reacting to this. There's at the government level, there's at the personal level. So at the government level, they've only been half successful because they've limited the number of car licenses that are issued every month. We don't know if Delhi would be able to take such a drastic move. They've shut down coal factories in Beijing, and it's only been half. So it sort of underlines how difficult the problem is. But what's more interesting is at the personal level, you've seen people arm themselves with sophisticated masks, with air purifiers, and the government has actually made available pretty cost-effective masks, which you get in health clinics in almost every neighborhood. And beyond that, you have powerful masks which are produced in the US and the UK, and you can order in a matter of seconds on any Chinese website.
Right.
And it's quite striking that the level of awareness in Beijing seems much higher than what we
that
have.
is the word. That is the word, Hand Krishnan, awareness. Dr. Valecha, the last word I'm going to give it to you in this broadcast. Do you think that it all boils down to awareness? That people should be aware? And this whole thing about mask, do you think that if these masks will be readily available, then people can go about their normal lives?
Definitely, as you said, awareness is the key, and what we are doing is awareness only. We should know that there are two types of particulate matter, 10 mn and 2.5. So if we get the mask, we should know that whether this mask is helping us to eliminate that particulate matter, especially the 2.5 micrometer, that is more lethal. So awareness, self-precaution and common sense, and looking out to what the weather is, using the filters and mask are the key at present level. So but we are not having readily available masks. We have no guidelines which mask is protecting us from which type of particulate matter. We are not sure whether the air filters we are installing at homes are certified and how long they will prevent. So in the meantime, when these things come up, we have to take our individual decisions.
Okay. Dr. Valecha, many thanks for joining us in this morning broadcast. So as the doctor says, as we have learned from Hand Krishnan, as we have learned from Anusha Soni, it just will take a little bit of political will to actually solve this problem. Something as basic as a mask. Rather than awarding themselves a 400% increment, maybe our politicians in Delhi could actually think of providing its people, the very electorate who voted them into power, with a few masks so that they can deal with this problem in a better way, the problem of smog. That's all the time we have in this edition of First Up 9 AM Live. I'll see you again Monday. Thanks very much for watching.